everyone. This is Dr. Leslie Birkland, and you are watching the Brighter Life Show. Today, on this episode, we're going to talk about herbal teas and their health benefits. So I picked out just a few of my very favorite teas that I use, every week. I mean, I don't use every single tea every single day, but every week I just pick a different tea because they have different health benefits. And, teas have been around for thousands of years all over the world. And people have always known that they have some, health benefits. Sometimes they just didn't even know exactly what it was in the tea, but, just from usage over thousands of years, they would know that one might help with their immune system, one might help with, helping healing a wound. I mean, there was just such a variety of reasons. So it's not just the immune system. Some help with, being an anti-inflammatory. I mean, it's really just quite extraordinary, the amazing effects that herbal teas have on us. And I'm only talking about herbal teas. I'm not talking about, any of the black teas or the China teas, because they're the ones that have the more, well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, like oolong tea, it's a whole nother category, but it does have some health benefits. But the teas that I'm referring to, they have 0 caffeine and 0 calories. And most of them actually taste great. So anyway, I'm going to start with one that I believe that everyone has heard of. It's called chamomile tea. And chamomile tea is mostly known for its calming effect. I use it later in the afternoon. It doesn't immediately make you fall asleep, but it does have a sleeping effect. It helps people sleep well. And oftentimes people that have insomnia and they don't want to take just an over-the-counter sleep aid, they'll have some chamomile tea and it will help them have a good night's sleep. So it's really good for people with insomnia. It also has an antibacterial and anti-inflammatory effect, and it is known to protect your liver. I mean, who knew the chamomile tea has liver protecting effects? So my next favorite tea is peppermint tea. And peppermint tea is really good for your digestive system. If you have ulcers, any kind of problems with, let's say, irritable bowel syndrome, things like that, peppermint tea really helps soothe those problems that you may have. In fact, I think it's kind of interesting that when you go to restaurants and you're eating in a restaurant, you may notice that at the counter as you're leaving, they will have peppermints, some sort of peppermint. And, you think to yourself, oh, well, this is great because I just ate a lot of food that had some garlic and some things that might make my breath not be pleasant to the person I'm about to talk to later. And so they think that that's why the restaurants have that, but it's usually because it helps with their digestion. So it's for 2 reasons. It's not just simply to help with your breath after eating, after fine dining. So, and it really has shown to just relieve, indigestion. So I've recommended it to my friends that have irritable bowel syndrome, also known as IBS, that's the acronym. And they find that it helps a lot. Something else that is not, it does come in a tea, but it's licorice. Licorice has very much the same effect that peppermint tea does. So you can buy licorice tea. In fact, you can buy licorice and peppermint tea combined. One thing about teas is all the teas I'm talking about, you should be able to just find them at your grocery store or your Whole Foods or, the market, some market. You should be able to find it. If you can't, you can always order online or you can go to an herb shop and they should have, any of the teas that I'm recommending. Another one is called Echinacea. And I think that everyone has heard of Echinacea because you think to yourself, well, I have a cold. I better drink some, Echinacea tea. And the reason they think that is because it does work. It does two things. If you drink it, it can help prevent you getting just a common cold. I'm referring to a common cold, or it can slow down or just sort of shorten, let's say, shorten the duration of your cold. And so it's really a great remedy, Echinacea tea for that. And it also helps with your immune system. And not only that, especially if you do have a cold, it helps fight infection. So Echinacea tea is a tea that I recommend if you have a cold, or even if you don't. If you're going into cold season or you're susceptible to getting colds, you may want to try just some Echinacea tea just to prevent even catching the common cold. Another tea that is kind of close to my heart, if you can say that about a tea, is sage tea, because sage tea has a lot to do with improving your cognitive mental abilities, and it also helps with memory. So a lot of studies have been done where they're using sage, herbal sage tea with patients that have Alzheimer's or have Lewy body or any type of dementia. It's supposed to help with the person to remember things, memory. It helps with memory loss. It's not only just for people that have, some form of dementia. Also, just a healthy person, it can help you with your memory. Because, as we just age, sometimes we just kind of sort of forget things that doesn't have anything to do with dementia, but we just sometimes forget where we put our keys, and we just forget where we're driving, things like that. That's happened to me. So sage tea, I think, is really, really interesting that it helps with memory in healthy adults as well as people that have some form of dementia. Another tea that I like is hibiscus tea. And when you think of the hibiscus flower, it's just so beautiful and it smells so wonderful. You go to Hawaii and they put these leis on you and you land at the airport. And a lot of the flowers are hibiscus flowers, along with some other really wonderful smelling flowers. But it has just a terrific fragrance, but it also tastes good. And what's interesting about hibiscus tea is that it does help lower your blood pressure and your fat levels. And it's a little bit of a food craving suppressant, just a natural food craving suppressant. So it also, which I think is really fascinating, they believe that it may prevent the formation of kidney stones. So let's say you're somebody that's prone to kidney stones. Maybe you've had them dissolved, or perhaps you've even had surgery. But after you have surgery with kidney stones, you can always get more kidney stones. It's not, once they take them out, they're never going to come back. So by having some hibiscus tea, it can help prevent the formation of any future kidney stones. And so I think that is really pretty fascinating. And again, you can get hibiscus tea just typically at your regular grocery store. Another one that I like is rosehip tea. And rosehip tea is just packed full of vitamin C. It is an anti-inflammatory. It is known as an antibacterial, an viral. So rosehip tea has many, many benefits. And also one of the big benefits is weight management. So it also sort of inhibits cravings to eat. And it also helps decrease the body mass index and belly fat. So not only do you not feel like you want to eat as much, it's really good to include the rosehip tea into your diet if you are dieting to lose weight, because it will help with your cravings and it will help with reducing some of the body fat. So I think that is really interesting. Anyway, those are the teas that I'm going to list for today. As far as, purchasing the teas, you can buy them in tea bags. You can buy them loose leaf. And if you buy them loose leaf, you'll want to steep them. Sometimes you can buy a pot that has a little place that you can put the actual leaves, and steeping it just means that you leave it. You pour the boiled water on it and you just leave it for a while. Steeping can be anywhere from 3 to 15 minutes. I don't recommend going beyond 15 minutes. I think that, is a perfect amount, anywhere between 3 and 15. Now, if you have a tea bag, you can use your tea bag 1 or 2 more times. However, I don't recommend that you squeeze out the tea. Sometimes somebody will be making some tea and they'll dip their tea bag and then they might take their fingers and squeeze out, the tea. And I don't recommend doing that, especially if you're going to use it a second or third time. Then there's another reason. If you're buying a tea bag where the actual bag is, made out of paper, sometimes the paper is bleached. So you don't want to squeeze in any chemicals. Just from how the bag is manufactured. Some people just use, different types of bags or organic bags. And those ones are a little bit safer. But for now, I'm just trying to give you some ideas of some teas that you might want to, include into your diet and just have in your health toolkit of, especially if you're baby stepping, you just want to get healthy and you want to know about different teas and you want to eliminate so much coffee. And, maybe for every time you would have a coffee, every other time, pick a tea. Pick a wonderful tea. And I think that you will really enjoy it. There's all these possible health benefits. And let me know what you think. You can always write to me at Dr. Leslie at lesliebirkland.com if you have any tea questions or you have any experience or you have a tea that I haven't mentioned. I mean, there's many, many teas. I just sort of gave you my top 6. Anyway, have a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you for watching the Brighter Life Show.